still in love with you.
Yeah, that was Reba McEntire. I'm the fool, in love with the fool, and my goodness, on the telephone with me right now, I've got the one and only Joe Smith. He's been very busy promoting his son new CD, The Hollow Man. Joe's got a new single out called I'll Always Be Here, and Joe, you've been working really hard promoting that thing for him, right? You there with me, Jay? We're live. We're on the air.
Oh, we're on the air.
We're on the air. We're live.
Oh, okay. Ron Smith here. How you doing, TJ?
Just fine, Ron. I was just saying that Joe Smith, which is your son, got a new CD out called The Hollow Man. He's got a new single off of that CD called I'll Always Be Here. I tell you what, Ron, you've got to be mighty proud of your son at this point.
Oh, yeah. I sure am, because I know he put a lot of work into it, but he loves it.
Well, Ron, at what age did Joe actually get into music? I mean, was it something that ran in the family? Was you in the music, or somebody in your family in the music, or?
Well, no, but I've got a lot of uncles and aunts, and they all played some kind of an instrument. And actually, Joe got his first instrument when he was about 10 years old. His grandfather bought him a guitar, and his two uncles, they taught him about 3 chords. So in about 2 months, he was able to pick and sing Jeremiah as a bullfrog.
Well, Ron, I tell you what, you've been out there actually trying to promote Joe's new CD, right? You've been actually contacting radio stations, correct?
Oh, yes, I've contacted some down in West Virginia. I contacted Charleston, Huntington, and also Ripley down there.
Well, I'm sure you've got to be getting some good responses after they listen to the song. That's the biggest thing, getting a radio station to listen to the song. But how you doing with the promotion? It's going pretty well for you?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of work to that, TJ, but I think it's going pretty good. But I'll tell you what, I got the deepest admiration for you, because I'll tell you, you, the promoters, and the DJs in particular, you guys got a hard job. I know you're always on the phone, emailing, or messaging, or chatting on Facebook, and you know, you got to really work hard at trying to get people on the air. And there's a lot of stations you got to visit and revisit over and over again, and that takes time and a lot of good communication skills. It takes patience and skills. And you also got to be very, very knowledgeable about who you're talking to and who you're talking about. So I tell you, my hat goes off to you guys.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of times some of these new artists, this singer and songwriters, you know, they make it because they're discovered by somebody, whether it's a record label in a bar or a radio station, or somebody always discovers these stars. You know, they didn't just walk into Nashville and become a natural star. You know, somebody discovered them and pushed them.
A lot of hard work behind it.
Well, Ron, I want to give you some good news here about your son. You know, I was one that discovered Joe Smith. In fact, I co-wrote the title song to that CD, Hollow Man, with Joe. But the single is I'll Always Be Here, which already made national attention on the Tommy Mauser Big Texas CD Review show. But some of the radio stations that I know for a fact that are playing Joe Smith's song now is WGWD, our sister station right here in Quincy, 93.3. Also, WTNT 94.9 Dynamite Country in Tallahassee, Florida. WPAP, the Gulf Coast Country 92.5 in Panama City. WBKY, Rocky Country 95.9, Package, Wisconsin. And the list goes on. Joe is being played over 148 radio stations nationwide right now. And we're trying to add to that list. And Ron, a couple of the other stations is WJAX, Atlantic Country, Jacksonville, Florida. WTYD, Andalusia, Alabama. WTBY, 95.5, Dothan, Alabama. and WKDQ 99.5 Evansville, Indiana. And those are just a few other stations that play this song. And how that make you feel knowing your son is on all these radio stations, buddy?
Oh, yeah, it makes me feel good. But I know you've been working hard, though.
Well, I tell you what, Joe's got some good music there, and he's working on some other stuff, too. Can you tell us anything about what he's working on, or does he keep that kind of pretty secret from you?
Well, I think he's got about 15 songs that's actually written, and I think you and him are actually doing a couple more together. And so he's
well, that's true. We're actually working on one called The Roller Coaster, and we're also working on another one called A $16 Day.
Yeah.
$16 Day, that might be a good song down the road there. Joe was out of work that day, and I was at work, but I only made $16 that day, and Joe called me up on the phone. He said, "How you doing today, bud?" I said, "Well, I'm having a $16 day." He said, "Well, that'll make for a good title for a song." And so we've been working on a $16 day. So there's some stuff that Joe has in the works coming up here in the near future. And I tell you what, I'll always be here. That's doing very well right now. And nobody becomes number one overnight, but Joe is well on the way to making that top 100, I do believe.
Oh, good.
Well,
yep.
Ron, tell us a little bit about Joe growing up. Was he a bad boy, or...
He wasn't a bad boy, but he was a awful busy boy, though. He was always into something, and of course he always liked tools, so he was always making tree houses and boats and all that kind of stuff there. And then when he went to school, he learned how to do brickwork and block work. And he actually worked for the board of, not the Board of Education, but the community college over here. He worked there about 19 years, and then at the same time he was working there. He was doing part-time jobs on home improvements. So after 18 years, he decided to go in business for himself. So he's got a small company over there where he does home improvements, and he does bathrooms, kitchens, all that kind of stuff. Almost, if you name it, he actually does it in the construction. So he keeps busy all the time.
Well, I tell you,
he loves music, though. So he's finally got all these kids out of school, so they've all graduated from high school. So Joe said, "Now," he said, "I'm going to concentrate on the music." So he's getting back into it, and so he's actually writing it, and he's also got a studio set up over there, so he practices all the time, and he's kind of a perfectionist there, because every song I think he records and re-records it about 20-25 times before he's satisfied with it.
Well, Ron, I know you know about this because I sent you an email on this on Facebook from our Facebook page, but for the listeners out there, Joe Smith's song, "I'll Always Be Here," is currently being reviewed by AJ Entertainments out of Nashville, Tennessee, which is a record label up there. And it's already made it through the first step up there. But it's like they were telling me on the phone, it's going before the Public Relations Board next week for review. But they say traditional country music is something they hesitate on signing because of people like Taylor Swift, Carrie Underwood, the pop country culture now. And we're just trying to get back the traditional country sound.
Good, I like the old country music. I like the old 97 show that you have on there. That's good. You got some real good music there.
Well, actually, Ron, we got the tracks of the old 97 coming up about 6:30 tonight. Right after I get through with the interview with you, we've got Roddy Barden from California, from the LPM station out there. Got a talk show. Him and I've got some connection with Lena Crane and Billy Crane from Palaca, some mutual acquaintances there, so we decided to do a little thing this afternoon together. So he's going to be on here live right after I get through talking with you. And that's Rodney Barton coming up about 6:20 this afternoon. And then Joe, Ron, we've got the tracks of the old 97 at 6:30 tonight.
Oh, good, yeah, I won't miss that.
Well, Ronnie, is there anything you'd like to say to Joe right now? I'm going to let you say it live on the air. So anything you want to say to your son right now, You got
Okay,
about
just keep it up
900,000
there. I'm proud of
people.
you, man. Just hang in there and keep working with TJ, because TJ, he's the man.
Well, when I was mentioning the radio station a while ago, I was mentioning FM radio station that was playing Joe's song, but I don't want to forget WDLS AM 900. I didn't quite get the city they was broadcasting from, but WDLS AM 900 is also playing Joe Smith's song. So we want to thank all those stations for helping us support Joe Smith. And if any of those stations out there need copies of any of Joe Smith's song, or any of our listeners out there, this is the important thing, Ron. Any of the listeners out there, if they don't live in the local areas, whatever, if your local radio station, if you're more than 100 miles away from Quincy, you're not going to be able to hear my radio station unless you're on the internet. So that means you turn into your local radio station when you're in your car or at work. So if any of your local radio stations don't have a copy of Joe Smith's CD, just have them contact me here at WTCS, and I'll make sure I'll get your local radio station a copy of that.
Okay, very good.
Ron, it's been good talking with you, and I'm like you. I'm wishing Joe the best. Okay,
thanks a lot, TJ. Good talking with you, and you have a good evening.
You too, and Ron, we're going to finish this thing up right now with Joe Smith, and I'll always be here. His brand new single from the new CD, The Hollow Man.
Oh, good. Thank you, TJ.
First time that we met, I knew I loved you. From that day till now, I still do. I know sometimes it's hard for me to tell you, so I'm writing down this song to let you know. Sometimes it's hard to stay together. You and me, we've got something worth fighting for. So give us one more chance, and I'll make it better. Let me start by saying these simple words.